Today we have a lot of news to talk about, so just give me 15-20 minutes, something like that, I don't know, and I'm gonna fill you guys in on everything that has been going on. First of all, man, we're almost at 1 million subscribers, so thank you guys so much. And also, you've been showing a lot of love on the news videos, man, so guys, please drop a like for me if you support one of the only creators that doesn't sell their soul to 2K, so that I can speak freely about the game. And let's get right into it, bro, right after our sponsor, PrizePicks. The playoffs are officially here, and on PrizePicks you can play with anything: assists, points, rebounds, whether you think someone's going to have a good or a bad game. Once you sign up with my link in the description, you can go over to Luka right here, for example, and you can move around what you think he's actually going to be projected for. 34.5 points is going to give you a better chance with getting more money, okay? So Cade and Luka is who I am picking to go off in the first game of the playoffs. $20 wins me 110. It's that easy in less than a minute, guys. Link is in the description. Thank you, PrizePicks, for sponsoring. And hey, you get $50 when you put 5 in for your first game as well. Please play responsibly, and I'm out. All right, guys, for a while now, we have been talking about the quote-unquote slingshot effect that Ronnie2K literally admitted was in 2K25, deleted that section of the video, and then re-uploaded it on 2 different platforms without that part where he admitted slingshot effect was in the game. I've been stressing it to you all how insanely important it is that we know what is going on with this game, because we need to speak out about this. The game should only decide the winner or the loser based on user input. And what I mean is, if you're wide open and you're lethal with jump shot boost and you time your shot correctly, for example, it should go in. There should be no other factor besides you timing your shot. Not, you know, oh, you won 3 games in a row, so we're going to make him drop this steal or get blocked on this layup, or hey, your team is up 15 points on another team in rec or pro-am, and now because of that, you're going to be dropping more steals than you were in the beginning of the game, or missing more shots. Well, Precise, who plays a lot of competitive pro-am, he has played this for years now, went on Twitter, and this is what he had to say about the slingshot effect. The slingshot effect RNG and algorithm to hover percentages around 50% is so prevalent in comp pro-am, it's ruining the competitiveness of the game. This guy, I mean, has played for years, and a lot of people like me, like you watching this video, have probably played for years, and you can feel the difference in 2K25 versus any other game. For example, in 2K24, the better team almost always shot better. The better team almost always won. That is not the case in 2K25. I mean, if you just go back to comp pro-am games in 2K24, there was 40-point, 50-point, 60-point blowouts all the time. The better team always was blowing the other team out, usually, right? That doesn't happen this year. And we're not talking about just comp pro-am, but he decided to DM me, and he said this: I don't know if you're still covering this kind of elements of the game, but engagement optimized matchmaking, or whatever you want to call it, is insanely prominent in pro-am, where it's being labeled the slingshot effect. If you go up 20 points, it's almost guaranteed the losing team is going to get an insane amount of momentum and cut it under 10. Most of the time, you're better off keeping the game close instead of starting out good, so that when clutch time comes around, you don't choke the game. Every team, every game shoots 50%. If your teammate is shooting well, it's going to be harder for you to make shots. I can have a half where I'm 1 for 9 and finish the game 11 for 19. I do it all the time. The game is simply weighting odds for an almost scripted outcome so the losing team doesn't give up. That is a great explanation of the slingshot effect, of what is going on in the 2K community right now, and it's really bad. Apparently, it's the worst in pro-am out of any mode, where it's supposed to be the most competitive, and yet it is the most held down and orchestrated to where it has to be everyone shooting 50% towards the end of the game. He said you're almost better off starting with like a close game. You know how insane that sounds, playing a basketball game? Imagine you're playing, you know, in real life at a park, right? And you're playing to 21 points, and you're like, hey, you know what? instead of taking this wide open layup, which is going to give us even more of a lead, let's say it's 6-0, let's not make it 7-0, because then the algorithm's going to kick in and make me miss my next shot. And then the guy coming down the court's going to make a tight contested shot because they're down 7-0. Like, just imagine how crazy that sounds. Imagine in real life if Steph Curry was 3 for 3 from 3, right? He just hit 3 threes in a row. It's his heat check. He's wide open, pull up in the corner on the fast break off the steal, and the game just freezes. Like, the ball just gets shot out of the air by a shotgun. And they're like, you know what, Curry? You're 3 for 4 now. That shot was going to go in, but we cannot let that go in. That is 2K25. Yes, you can have games where you shoot 8 for 8, whatever it is, but this is a huge problem that needs to be talked about. Okay, you are much more likely to miss the more you make your shots, and much more likely to make your next shot the more you miss. If you're like 0 for 3, bro, that's heat check. I literally say it's reverse heat check every time. Okay, so then he also said, I feel like it needs awareness. It's supposed to be a competitive mode, but like you just saw in stage, it's not skill based. He said, I'd rather everyone make open shots 100% of the time and the skill gap rely on getting open and playing defense than the game intentionally making it hard or easy to hit shots. That's exactly how I feel, guys. If someone wants to go 7 for 7 from 3 on me in twos, and that's how they win because they're wide open and they timed their shot correctly, I would much rather lose that way than always be thinking in the back of my head, did I win that game? Did I lose that game because 2K had some sort of input besides my own input and my opponent's? You know, once you know that the game is like that, which we do, you start to question every single thing that's happening in the game. How much is my game controlled by an algorithm, right? So someone commented on my channel, and this is what he said. It's very interesting to talk about, okay? Because he said, Slingshot effect has been in the game for years. I don't know why it's news now. And this guy, I do believe he is correct. For those of you that have been watching me for years, even when I was streaming back in 2K18, I could show you clips of me talking about the algorithm. There has always been an algorithm, like I told you guys, about dribbling, for example, where if you dribble for a certain amount of time, you have a much higher % chance of missing, even if you're wide open, even if you time your shot correctly. That's really the only algorithm I think that the game should have, right? Like, if you dribble for 16 straight seconds, that's going to resemble real life where you're going to be tired and you're going to have a less % chance to make your shot. It's been like that for a long time. I do believe that some of these factors like Slingshot and RNG, you know, we know RNG has been in other 2Ks, but what I'm saying is it has been turned up a lot for 2K25. That is the real issue that you guys, some people aren't understanding is, yes, some of these things have been in older games, but it is literally the worst it's ever been this year in 2K25. It's on steroids, okay? So Glock19, who's blowing up in the 2K community as a dribbler and stuff, he posted this on Twitter. They got 4,000 likes. And he said, 2K16 is so fluid, man. No clunkiness, no getting stuck in animations, hundreds of signature styles. Now, this is the video that went along right here with that 4,000 like tweet in the 2K community. You don't see very many 2K community, you know, tweets and stuff getting 4,000 likes. This is what the dribbling looked like in 2K16. I mean, just look at the lighting, look at the clothes. It's not just the dribble moves, right? It just looks pretty damn good. Like, I cannot lie to you. It looks pretty, it's an old gen console. I think you were able to play these on like what, Xbox 360, guys, and it still looks like that. So some people were complaining about him doing spin backs and saying it looked cheesy and stuff like that. So he posted another video saying, is this the quote unquote cheese dribbling y'all wanted removed from the game? Didn't do any glitchy moves or spin backs in these, just straight combos into buckets with unique signature styles, something that 25 and the recent 2Ks lack. So here is your video for in case you were going to say, oh, he's spinning and cheesing, and look at this dribbling right here. There is absolutely no cheese. He is just doing very solid, fluid dribbling. He has showed that there was so many more animations to choose from in 2K16, guys. How could you possibly back up that 2K15, 2 consoles later, has less animations to choose from? I mean, obviously, when there's even less animations, a lot less, of course, people are going to use the same ones because that means there's not very many there's few good ones, right? Now, of course, meta gaming has gotten a lot crazier in the last 10 years, but what I'm saying is, if we had 4 times the amount of selection for each dribble move, which Glock has showed 2K16 had in a lot of areas, you're going to have a lot of moves that's like, okay, this is the best move for your escape, right? But this one is pretty much just as good. You see what I'm saying? There's not many like that on 2K, so of course people are going to gravitate towards the ones that are the best, you know? So it's just unfortunate that we're in 2K25 and people actually defend what has been going on. I mean, look at the gameplay you guys have been watching. I'm playing LT cheesers every single game, and I'm not going to say and just make it up for them. They're like, oh, this is why they're doing it because they took all the dribbling out, you know, but like this is something that does happen because of that. It's a factor to why so many people are LT cheesing. We could go on and on about why LT cheese is the way it is, and I've told you guys, I literally think if I was to break it down, and I've broke some of it down for you, that this game was made for people to LT cheese. It's almost like this game was created because 2K wanted people to LT cheese. I mean, every single thing meta-wise lines up for you to want to play this way, to put yourself at the best chance to win the game. Every single thing. There's not a single thing that goes against it. Anyway, Joe Knows recently uploaded a video where he was watching a 1v1 me end of the season. It's like this wager website where people wager on 2K, and it was the end of the season. It was the championship. He was reacting to it, okay? And of course, you guys can think this is a 2v2 wager on a wagering website where these guys are going to be running the meta, like the absolute meta. You know, screens, run around with a 99 mid-range, fade. That's what it has been this year because you can't LT cheese on the site. They have that banned, so that's actually good for them for doing that. But he actually pinned this comment from Waff, who said, I miss when 2s was actually tough and not L2 cheese, 99 speed off-ball dexing every single game. He pinned that comment, guys. Joe feels the same way that so many of us do. If you go into his comments again, you will see this guy right here saying, bro, 2s is so boring this year. Everybody plays the same. And he said, yeah, it's so repetitive, man. I miss the diversity. I mean, bro, so many of us feel like 2K can bring back something that has diversity. I mean, it's not impossible. It's not. I want you all to just think right now, put it in your head that it is not impossible to bring back a lot of good things that the older games had. Okay, just like Glock is saying in his tweets, maybe I should have said it a few minutes ago, but he's not saying 2K16 should come out in September, right? We're at 2K25 right now. The new game's coming out in September in a few months. He's not saying that game should release. He's saying, hey, let's take the good things from this game that is very evident to people that aren't trying to be just against, you know, people that are literally using their brains and saying, yeah, we should have 4 times more animations to choose from. Like, let's bring these things back, these good parts of the game, and actually create a better game, right? Like, let's take the good stuff from 2K19, from 2K20, from 2K16. Let's mesh everything together, plus some new innovation. Of course, 2K should be innovating and making new things, and make a good product. I don't think that that should be controversial at all. You know, like, let's say I was to ask you guys, what do you think is the best defensive 2K of all time? And you said blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, don't you think that we should take some of whatever the defensive mechanics were from that game, the engine, whatever it is, and put it into 2K26 so that we can have a good defensive game? Or the same way for offense, you know? It would be really hard for you to deny that the game should have literally good things that were in other games. I don't really know how to explain it besides that. I hope you guys can understand. But anyway, a month ago, a lot of people got banned. 2K banned people for using quote-unquote auto green tools. We talked about this is huge. This is actually very important that they did this. However, it is maybe bad that they waited till, you know, March to do this. Is that because they had the technology from the very beginning and they just didn't want to ban spenders in September, like right when the game came out? Or have they just now got this technology down and they are banning people, right? Like, we will see in 2K26, early 2K26, if that is the case. If they don't ban people early 2K26, that means that they had this technology early 2K25 and didn't want to ban people, because those people, of course, if you're cheating on a video game, these guys are paying for a monthly subscription to cheat, whatever it is, they're going to be probably spending more than your average customer, so 2K doesn't want to ban them, okay? So we will see the truth early 2K26, and that is going to be huge. 2K needs to set the tone early and ban the cheaters. Anyway, everyone got banned for a month that was caught cheating with the auto green devices, and Power made a tweet on Twitter saying they reset the level of everyone hit in the ban wave, right call or not. So no one even knew this until everyone just got unbanned the other day and all their levels were reset. I think that's good. I think that if you are using a auto green tool, you shouldn't even get a 1 month ban. You should get permanently banned. Permanent. Your account is done. You got to make a new account. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, just resetting the level, I don't know. Only a month slap on the wrist. On top of that, I'm also 99% sure the people that got reset, they get to keep their cap breakers, they get to keep their event rewards. So really, it's just a visual thing that they're a rookie 1 now. 2K actually needs to do something about these cheaters in our community. I think a 1 month slap on the wrist and keeping all your cap breakers and stuff isn't really that big of a deal, right? They were able to cheat for 5 or 6 months and then just get banned for a month and keep everything. I don't know. So I don't know if you guys seen this, but Double H posted that there is a Demigod build in 2K25. I'm sure most of you have seen it by now, but there is a actual build in 2K25 that has the name Demigod. So I just wanted to show you guys that that was pretty cool. Although the build isn't really, like, it's not bad. Trust me, it's not bad at all. But I wouldn't say that that is a Demigod build when you look at it. There's a few different ways you can make it, and with all the cap breakers and stuff like that, it's actually not bad at all. But Demigod, I don't know. Now, the name is very cool, so shout out to 2K for doing something cool like that. But, you know, they obviously do that because they want to make money. And this is something that we couldn't figure out because most people didn't have cap breakers because you need like 15 cap breakers, or I think minimum like 9 to make it. So anyway, speaking of 2K making money, Herb Scribner went to Twitter and he was talking about, just was looking through some of the Take-Two interactive notes from the last earnings call in February and found this: consumer spending for NBA 2K was up 30%, big quarter for the franchise. Now you see recurrent consumer spending, RCS, rose 9% for the period, which was in line with our guidance. 2K grew over 30% with their consumer spending in that quarter. So in that 3-month range, because there's 4 quarters in the year where Take-Two, aka the people that own 2K, have to give public information, truthful information to their stockholders about how the company is doing. Now, people took this and they ran with it a lot further than I really think that they should have. First of all, shout out to you guys that have been here because you already seen this, okay? Everyone took this and was like, wow, look, wow. We talked about this 2 months ago back in February, right after the earnings came out. So on this channel, you're going to see stuff like that right away, okay? And then second of all, that's just consumer spending. That's not sales. That's not actually how much people are playing. And now keep in mind, cap breakers are just doing wonders for 2K money-wise. Like, that's probably the only reason they're making so much more money this year, but, you know, they're still making more money. So at the end of the day, they are happy, right? But I'm just saying, like, we haven't seen, there's a lot of other stats they don't show. I've told you guys before, and this is just in my opinion, allegedly, you know, they will cherry pick stats to show and not show when it's convenient to them, right? They have to be honest, but they don't have to show everything. Like, you know, if sales, let's say sales were 15 million and it was the most sold 2K ever, which you know, it's not. This game is not going to be the most sold 2K ever. We'll see about the sales very soon. We'll talk about that. They would be talking about it all day. I mean, it would be like all over it. Hey, we're selling the game. Like, the game is not selling that good. It's still selling decent from previous years to my knowledge. But anyway, the next one will be May 15th, 2025. I think this will be the biggest one because we'll actually be able to see how many copies the game pretty much sold for the whole year. Okay, last time our update was 7 million copies sold, which I don't think was that good, but also not that bad compared to other years in 2K history. So we will see. Like I've told you guys as well, though, 2K, let's say they sell 10 million copies a year every single year. If they sell 9 the next year, but they made more money off each customer, as you guys are seeing, the consumer spending and stuff, then it doesn't really matter that much to them. And this is, at least from what I've seen, because it's very hard with 2K to gather all this information. They're not really that like, hey, this is exactly what we have, blah, blah, blah. But from what I've seen, how long can that last for? All right, how long can they continue this trend of losing customers, but they make more off each customer? They're in a bubble, is what I'm trying to say. And it can pop. It can pop. So we will see what's going to happen. I just want to show you guys this right here. Precise stops and explosive launches is what they said for 2K25 in the trailer. Just remember that. Okay, I just wanted you guys to remember that that was in the trailer for 2K25. Precise stops and explosive launches. Oh man, they got it. Now look, I don't hate this game. I'm talking about as bad as 2K18 or 2K21, but it's pretty close in the bottom of my tier list. I wouldn't say it's the worst 2K ever. My least favorite 2K ever is 2K18, but there is a lot of room for a better product here. That's why I make these videos, not to complain, not to cry about anything, because I want to try and get a better product from 2K. And I think we all should as well, considering how much money a lot of people spend on this game. Anyway, guys, if you haven't seen my video where I went 100-0, tried to go 100-0 in rec in one video, you should check it out. It's a movie, 3-hour video. Click or tap right here. It took me 2 weeks of my life to make. It's one of the best videos I can possibly make in the 2K game. Click it, tap it, and I'm out of here.